Hi, everybody, and welcome to our registration meeting for the rising class of 11th and 12th grade at Hebron High School. This is for the class of 2022 and the class of 2023. It's going so fast. As a little bit of housekeeping, if you would, please turn off your video. We already have 144 people on here and it's just going up. So we've learned from doing these presentations that having video on slows things down. So if you would, please turn your video off. For those of you who have dialed in and can't see the presentation, please know that I will be posting this on the website, both a copy of the video and a PDF of the presentation of all of the slides and things that I've gone through. So even though you don't see it on here right this second, you will be able to have access to it. The system says it takes up to 24 hours to know that I'll have it on there by tomorrow morning. I'm Kim Klingon. I'm counselor here at Hebron High School at the main campus for students whose last names are NGU through SC. We have the other counselors here also in the presentation, and they are monitoring the chat. So if you have a question that's kind of for the good of the group or a clarification, please type it in over there, and one of our other counselors will be able to answer that for you. And so here on the presentation, we have Mrs. Renee. We also have Mrs. Rayford, Mrs. Lovett, Mrs. Hood, and Dr. Fields, I believe, is in another presentation right now, but he should be joining us a little bit later as well. If you have a specific question about your student, please feel free to reach out directly to your counselor. I wouldn't do it during this presentation because we're all busy, but whenever we're finished, please reach out to your counselor and we'll answer a question that pertains directly to your student. Also, if you have questions that are specific for the career centers for Tech East or Tech West, feel free to reach out directly to their counselors. And if you have a dual credit question, Mrs. Fields is available to answer questions about Collin College. And everybody's contact information was posted in the chat right whenever we started. And I believe that Ms. Renee is going to post it again at the end. So if you forget and don't want to scroll all the way back up, then you'll be able to get to that. So here, let me go on ahead and share my screen here with you. Okay, there we go. Okay, again, this is registration for the class of 2022 and the class of 2023, next year's juniors and seniors. I'm going to go through and we'll talk about dual credit and AP and have a little review of the weighting system. We'll talk about course selection, get into requirements and some electives, and we just really appreciate your time today. Okay, so one of the first questions that were asked by parents is, should my student take dual credit or AP, and what is the difference between those two? Yesterday we had an advanced academics presentation and also some information about CTE, and that presentation is already posted on the Hebron Counseling website. So if you weren't able to make it yesterday, the handouts are posted and video is posted over there as well. But here's a quick little summary of it. For dual credit allows high school students to earn high school credit and college credit at the same time. It goes on both their high school credit transcript and their college transcript. Where AP allows students to take college level courses and then they take an exam that may or may not transfer as college credit. Dual credit is taught by college instructors or high school teachers who are adjunct professors, where AP classes are taught by high school teachers that are trained by the College Board. In order to get credit, you take that dual credit class and you pass it, then it goes on that transcript. It's for sure college credit. For AP, if you take that College Board exam at the end of your high school year and score 3 or above, the college will determine if that will pass or how many classes that will pass for and be the equivalent for at their university. Dual credit are accepted by public colleges and universities, as well as some private colleges and universities in Texas, as well as many colleges and universities across the nation. And then for AP, it's definitely accepted throughout the nation. For both dual credit and AP, the colleges will have a transfer page, and you can look and see what those either AP or dual credit classes are transferred as. For dual credit, they're taught at LISD high schools or online or at Collin College, where for AP classes, they are taught at LISD high schools. And we also have a couple of classes that are taught through VLA, the Virtual Learning Academy. In order to take dual credit classes, students have to meet TSI eligibility requirements. That's the Texas Success Initiative, where AP classes are open to any student who wants to sign up and take an AP class. The cost for dual credit classes, they're the going rate of per credit cost. Each class is 3 credits, so it's 3 credit hours is the cost, and Collin College posts that each fall. And for AP, the cost of the class is the cost of the AP exam. All right, so the weighting system. When your student takes any math, science, social studies, language other than English, and academic decathlon, those classes have a weight. So when you're looking at the course description guide and it says English 3 AP has a level of 3. Well, that level tells what level that class is and what that class is weighted. So for a class that is a level 0, those are modified courses, and that has a weight of 1. All gen ed classes have a level of 1 that's a 1.1 weight multiplier. The level 2 are the honors courses, which is a 1.15, and AP, ACDEC, and dual credit classes all have a 1.2 multiplier, which is a level 3. And what that means is we use these weighted classes to determine, and this weight system, to determine your student's rank in class. So when a student takes regular English 3 and scores a 90, that 90 is multiplied by 1.1, which doesn't actually affect the grade, but it has the weight on the side so that we can compare how your student is doing with other students in their class. So when your student is trying to pick classes and your student wants to know, what do I need to do to raise my rank? Well, you take your classes and you get A's. So when you're taking a look at classes and you're looking at in the course description guide and it says what the level is, this will help you determine what level of class your students should take whenever they're picking their classes. All right, course selection materials will be available starting Friday the 12th. That's tomorrow, February 12th, in advisory. So everything is online this year. All of the materials will be available online. So in advisory, your students will have access to it. And we always get the question, well, what if my student's absent? The weather's nasty right now. What if school isn't in? Well, I'm assuming school is still going to be in tomorrow and we're going to have advisory. But if your student ends up missing school, or if the advisory teacher didn't have the link or didn't put that information out, everything will be available on the Hebron Counseling website. This video will be on there, the advanced academics video, the instruction video will be available on there, as well as all of the materials. So your student will not miss out on the distribution of the materials. No, it will be available on the counseling website. So whenever your student is picking classes, they'll need to select courses that total 8 credits and 4 alternate courses. The alternate courses are often used, and you'll select courses that your student would like to take. It's very common that a student will end up getting their alternates. When we're making the actual schedule come August, whenever it's time for us to actually make your schedule and the loader runs, if the classes your student picks are not there, then we'll use the alternate classes. And if a student doesn't put any alternates in, then we're stuck to pick those classes. So it's common for a student to say, hey, I didn't pick that. Why is that on there? I'm like, well, honey, it was on your alternates. Oh, well, I didn't think you'd actually pick my alternate. Yes, we use your alternates. So make sure when your student picks classes, they pick 8 plus 4. So 8 classes that we plan on them having, and then 4 that they would be okay with if they didn't get their other classes. Course, and when you are picking alternates, Career Center classes are not classes to pick as alternates. Those are first choice classes, which we'll get to later. We don't pick Career Center classes as somebody's alternates, plus those are full and have wait lists. So make sure that you pick classes that you want to take that are here on campus. So courses that are selected need to be input in Skyward by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, February 21st. Once students have selected courses, they need to be input directly into Skyward. So your student will select courses in Skyward that are based on the course number. There is a way that you can look it up by name, but sometimes that ends up getting the wrong class in there. So the best way to make sure that you get exactly the class that your student wants to take is to put the course number into the system. And again, the directions will be given out tomorrow, Friday, and advisory, and everything is online. So your student can go to the website and print it out if they would like to print it out, or they can just have it on their screen and pick their classes and put them in on the screen online. Core curriculum. English is, you'll take 4 classes every year for English, or excuse me, for your core classes, you'll take 4 English, 4 math, 4 science, and 4 social studies, 3 social studies credits. So you'll do English 1, 2, 3, and 4. For math, you'll take 4 credits that should include Algebra 2. For science, you'll take 4 credits that would include either chemistry or physics. And in social studies, you'll do 3 credits. U.S. history is the class for 11th grade. And for seniors, you have to do both government and economics. So government is a 9-week half-credit class. Economics is a 9-week half-credit class. The 2 of those together come together for your full senior credit. Some students did the world geography and world history, and that is because they were more than likely working on the multidisciplinary endorsement. The multidisciplinary endorsement is 4x4, and that is the graduation plan that many of the universities recognize. Well, every university recognizes 4x4. And most of our students are going to end up graduating with multidisciplinary endorsement. So there are some graduation plans that only require 3 social studies credits, but most students end up with 4. All right, way to earn credit. You can take classes on level, honors, or AP. There are classes that are available through the Virtual Learning Academy, which is VLA or TXVSN. This year for classes during the school day, and for next year, you'll just select those classes when you're picking classes. If you want to take classes outside the school day, then you'll need to go into to contact the Virtual Learning Academy, and we'll help with the registration for those. Classes through VLA that are taken inside the school day have no charge. If they're taken outside the school day, there is a fee for those classes. VLA classes, of course, will be available during the summer again, and instructions for that and registration for those courses will be in Skyward for summer classes, but that won't be available until we get really close to the end of the school year. You don't have to take summer classes, but that is an option if you want to take a summer VLA course. There are blended classes that are offered through VLA. This coming year, the class that we will offer as blended is the two classes are government and economics. You can sign up for those classes in Skyward whenever you sign up for your classes. They're really nice because the blended classes have flexible learning. So 3 days are on campus and 2 days are off campus. It's a way to get both. Yeah, you end up working with the teacher and you get to work independently as well. So if you like the virtual, but you also like having a teacher too, then blended for government and economics might be the way to go. Dual credit classes are offered through Collin College, and these classes you have to register with Collin College. We will help out with that in registration. Now, one thing that's different this year that we did not have every class, there will be a dual credit interest form that they'll complete. It's a Google Doc. One of the issues that we've had is that students think that when they sign up in Skyward, that's registering for dual credit, and it's not. So when you sign up for, when your student signs up for their classes, like let's say they're a junior and they want to do the English and history combination, which we'll talk about later. So they'll sign up for either regular English or AP English, and they'll sign up for regular US history and AP or AP US history. And then there will be an interest form that's a Google Doc that they'll fill out. Once they fill out this Google Doc, then we will know who is interested in taking dual credit. You and your student will get an invite to the dual credit meeting. You'll start getting information about dual credit and how to apply to Collin and how to register. The dual credit registration process takes many steps, and so the class won't actually go on your student's schedule until registration is complete with Collin. So that way we have a class that's set for your student until they're able to get the actual registration process complete. The registration process will start this spring. Again, the registration for dual credit won't even begin until I believe it's late March when we can actually start registering. It may even be early April. So we put in a class that holds its place until the actual registration is complete. But we'll talk more about dual credit here in a couple minutes. All right, honors, AP, and on-level. So if your student is thinking about taking honors classes or AP classes, and should my student take honors or AP, think about the accelerated block, think about the stress level, and think about your student. So we like to say that there's 2 cores in the fall and 2 cores in the spring, but frankly, that just is not a guarantee. Sometimes heavy course loads and programs and career center class can cause one semester load to be heavier than the other semester load. So I'd love to tell you that, oh yes, we have 2 courses in the fall and 2 courses in the spring, but it just doesn't always happen that way. So when you're thinking about taking these classes, it's possible that you could end up with 3 cores in one term and 2 cores in another term, or even 1 core in another term. And just be prepared when your student is picking up classes that it may not balance out, even though we try. All right, VLA, Virtual Learning Academy. The district offers these online courses. Again, they can be taken inside or outside the school day. If it's inside the school day, then the course is either first, third, or fourth period, and the expectation is that the student will not be on campus whenever that class is taking place. So if, say, VLA English 3 AP falls first period, then your student won't even come to school until second period. Or if US history falls fourth period, then your student will leave after third period and go home and work on their VLA class. Now, if it falls third period and your student doesn't drive, then that may be an issue. So your student would have to leave during third period and then come back for fourth period. Again, remember the expectation is that they're not here on campus during that VLA period. We're trying to give some flexibility to your students. So when a student is registering for classes, if they're inside the school day, they just sign up for the classes on their Skyward when they're picking classes. If it's outside the school day, that's a different procedure. Contact me, you'll look at the VLA website, and again, we'll help with this process. And blended is through VLA. It's half virtual and half in person with a Hebron teacher. And in 12th grade, our classes that are those are government and econ. Government and econ as a senior is fantastic because it just gives some flexibility to your students and some independence. So it's kind of nice. We do have classes that are taught through the Gifted and Talented programs. That's GT. The classes in Gifted and Talented are offered through Honors and AP, and the number of sections that are created in the master schedule that are designated GT, which means only students in that class receive Gifted and Talented services, is based on student course requests. If only 2 students request a solid GT class, then that one's not going to make. Those students will end up going into pre-AP or excuse me, Honors or AP versions of those classes. If a student selects multiple GT courses, then scheduling might be limited. So an example of that would be if a student had GT Pre-Cal Honors and GT English 3 AP, and those classes were both only taught third period in the fall. Well, that student would only get one of those 2 designated courses, and the other one would go to the alternating Honors or AP class. All Honors and AP courses have both GT and non-GT students in it, and those teachers have gone through the training to work with students who receive GT services. All right, some examples of schedules. So earlier, whenever I was talking about not being able to guarantee that 2 cores in the fall and 2 cores in the spring, here are just some examples of reasons why that would happen. So this particular student has band, which is all year, and a Career Center class that's double blocked. So since the Career Center class had to be in the spring, the fall happened to have been core heavy with that Algebra 2 Honors, English 3 AP, and Physics 1 AP. And that happened to have been during marching season. So this was kind of the perfect storm for this kiddo. But there's no way that it could have fallen out because the Career Center class wasn't offered in the fall or wasn't available. The Career Center classes seats are allotted to us, so we don't have control on when students are scheduled in their Career Center classes. Another example, this particular student is doing the English 3 and US History AP Humanities classes, and they were in Honors, and they had a electives that were only taught in the fall term. So this student happened to have had, that Humanities that goes all year, plus Pre-Cal Honors and Physics 1 AP that's scheduled for a really difficult spring term. And here's another one, Chemistry AP, which is an all-year class, and AP Humanities. Oh, and they wanted to, double up on science, and they had the Pre-Cal Honors, plus they have athletics. Well, that particular student they have core classes for everything except for their athletics. So they have 3 classes that are taught year-long, which leaves only 1 period open in the fall and 1 period open in the spring for their 18 weeks courses. Okay, with Calc AB and Calc BC, Calc AB has to fall in the fall, Calc BC has to fall in the spring. And my question for our rising seniors is senioritis going to set in? This particular student requested 3 math classes. They're likely already going to be accepted into college. Is Calc BC and Stats AP in the spring semester are going to be something that they're going to want to continue? It sounds great right before your senior year starts, but once you're in it, You need to look hard at your requests and make sure that you're going to be happy with what you have all year. All right, for 11th grade, your English class. 11th grade students are required to take English 3, and the class can be on level, AP, Humanities, VLA, or dual credit. English 3 is required for graduation. It is not a STAR class. So you just have to pass it and do great in it, and you'll meet that graduation requirement for English 3. AP English for 11th and 12th grades. The focus is on critical reading and grammar and vocabulary. Students who take this course, it assumes that the students have a willingness to read 25 pages independently up a day, in addition to homework that's assigned outside the school day. And you're expected to participate in class selected and independently selected works every day. For English for 11th grade, on level English 3 is 18 weeks. AP English 3 is 18 weeks. AP Humanities is English 3 AP and US History AP together over 36 weeks. And VLA is either inside or outside the school day. I didn't have anybody doing outside the school day classes this year. All of my students were doing inside the school day classes, first, third, or fourth period. Dual credit is offered through Collin College. These classes are English 1301 and 1302. This is college freshman English. 1301 in the fall is a half a credit of high school credit, which is 3 dual credits. In English 1302 in the spring is half a high school credit, which is 3 college credits. The courses are taken with History 1301 and 1302, so the classes meet every other day for the entire school year. Students register with Collin for their classes, and they have to register for both fall and spring. Several step process, and your enrollment in the course is done once your payment is made. Once payment is made, that's when it goes on your Hebron schedule. For 12th grade, we have on English 4, which is 18 weeks. AP English 4, which is 18 weeks. VLA is either inside or outside the school day, and it's available as online or AP as well. In their advanced English courses, which is any course under the core curriculum that can be substituted for English 4. An example of that would be creative writing. Creative writing is an 18-week class, or you could do the 9-week version of creative writing plus multicultural literature. If your student is on the multidisciplinary endorsement, then it has to be a version of English 4 and not the advanced English course. Okay, dual credit for 12th grade English. Students who took English, the ENGL 1301, 1302 during your junior year can take the American Lit 1 and Intro to Speech Communications, and these count as a full credit of English 4. In order to take these, you have to have taken the English and History combo during your junior year. Both classes meet the core curriculum requirements in college, and it'll either be in the fall or the spring term of your senior year. All right, social studies classes. For juniors for 11th grade, the class that you'll take is US History. All students have to take US History in order to graduate under the state of Texas. This course is on level AP, Humanities, VLA, or dual credit, and it is a STAR EOC course. So both the course and the EOC STAR test must be passed in order to graduate from high school. For APUSH, it's designed to have the rigor experienced by a college freshman. Students are expected to write essays, participate in discussions, and do work at a college level. It is a substantial time commitment inside and outside the school day. The first 3 to 6 weeks are super challenging because you're learning skills and applying the skills to be successful. The teachers start with college preparatory, making sure you're rolling from day 1. All right, so time management, is this the right class for you? The successful student in APUSH has really strong time management skills. They're self-motivated. They love the academic challenge, and they put participation in class and learning at the same level as getting that number grade. If your student is just trying to get that, has zero interest in social studies, but just wants to have that 1.2 multiplier, this may not be the right class for your student to take. So just know that the amount of work and the class, yeah, they're going to be doing a lot of work. So I hope they love social studies. It's a great class. The professors are great. And here's the deal. If a student makes it through APUSH, they will have the skills necessary to be prepared to perform well in a college level class. So if your student is interested in doing the work and is able to push through, then know that it is a class that's had some excellent outcomes for students who have completed the coursework. APUSH continued, we do have the humanities. So if your student is interested in doing it but doesn't want to do it in 18 weeks, and they're also interested in doing the English 3 AP, then having that humanities makes it so that they're able to spread the class out for the entire year. It's APUSH and English 3, 36 weeks, every other day for the entire school year. Also, the U.S. History and AP U.S. History are both available through VLA inside the school day and outside the school day. For dual credit, the U.S. History dual credit is through Collin College, and that's the U.S. History 1301 and U.S. History 1302. This is college U.S. History, and it's 6 college hours. Speaking from talking to colleges and universities, almost every major requires ENGL 1301, ENGL 1302, and almost every major requires HIST 1301 and 1302. If you're debating on taking a class and thought, yeah, maybe I'll do Gov and Econ my senior year, maybe I'll do whatever, know that these are classes that almost every major requires. So if you're looking for something that is worth your time and you are ready to do college coursework, the ENGL 1301, the English and History combination is definitely worth your time. So History 1301 is in the fall, 1302 is in the spring, and they're taking for the entire school year with those English classes. Students register with Collin. If you're interested in doing this, then sign up for either regular or AP and fill out the Google Docs stating you're interested in potentially registering for dual credit, and you'll start to get more information about that. 12th grade social studies is government and economics. Both are needed for graduation, and they're 9-week commitments. They can be taken on level, AP, VLA, blended. I have a concurrent on there, but the concurrent isn't going to happen next year. So I apologize. So it's either on level, AP, VLA, or blended. And they are at Hebron, or you could take them as dual credit. The classes are offered through VLA, which is either inside or outside the school day. Remember, VLA is LISD teachers, but not necessarily Hebron teachers. The classes, government and economics, are available through dual credit. It's government 2305 and econ 2301, and those are taught on alternating days, Monday through Thursday, for 18 weeks. For math options. Okay, math options. Students need to take Algebra 2 after geometry, which will count as the 3rd math credits toward the 4 credits needed for graduation. Math models, if you take it after geometry, it'll count as the 3rd math credit for graduation. And then math courses after math models or Algebra 2 will count as the 4th math credit taken for graduation. So for math credits, in order to graduate, you need Algebra 1, geometry, Algebra 2, and a 4th math. So if most students will take Algebra 2 after they've taken geometry. If you want to take math models and have Algebra 2 your senior year, then that would be fine. Most students just do the Algebra 2 straight after that geometry. For Honors Algebra 2, the recommendation is that you have a 90 or better in regular Algebra 1 or an 85 or better in the Algebra 1 pre-AP. It is not recommended for students who took Algebra AB all year. And there is a summer assignment. Regardless of if your class is scheduled in the fall or spring, the expectation is that you'll be doing the summer assignment. There is in-depth study on each concept, and it's more application based. So what that means is that whenever you're taking your tests, they're all free response. So there's no multiple choice or incredibly minimal multiple choice. You're expected to apply the things that you've learned instead of doing multiple guess. Algebra 2 continued. Calculators are not commonly used. Yes, graphing calculators are used, but students are expected to show all of their work on the tests. So you can't just put the numbers in on the calculator and then write your answer down. You have to show all of your work. Review problems cover the same concepts, but they're not the same question on in the exams. Students have the same homework as they do in regular Algebra 2, but there's supplemental work and extra homework and extra assignments that go more in depth to the basic knowledge that's learned in Algebra 2. Students who are successful in this class have a really strong work ethic. They're super motivated, and they have excellent organizational skills. Pre-Cal and college prep math are the most common classes that students do as their fourth math. Pre-Cal is available as honors or GT, which is for students who are interested in going into Calc. So either Calc AB or Calc BC or both. Regular pre-cal is for a student who's looking to major in a math-heavy field in college, but doesn't necessarily want to go into calculus yet. College prep math is for students who feel the need to strengthen their algebra skills to get ready to take an entry-level college math class. It is not to be taken after pre-cal. So if your student took pre-cal as a junior and wants to just do something to keep their skills up, look at doing stats. Don't do college prep math. So the college prep math is a TSI preparatory class. It's to get students ready to take the TSI. Calculus and statistics, Calc AB, AP and GT, and Calc BC. So the courses can be taken either one semester or all year. So if your student would like to take both AP, AB, and BC, then try to take that all in 1 year, because Calc BC is only taught in the spring. So if you're a junior and you happen to have already taken pre-cal, and you take Calc AB and it falls in the fall of your junior year, and then Calc BC falls into the spring of your senior year, that's a long time to go between the two. Stats AP is a good alternate choice for a student who's interested in higher level math but doesn't necessarily want calculus. The fact of the matter is not every major in college requires calculus. So statistics is a really good choice if you would like to sit and take the AP and get some college math credit without taking calculus. There is an on-level statistics class, which is another good choice for a student who doesn't want to take an AP level math course. So if you took Algebra 2 and don't want to do pre-cal, but you really don't want to do college prep math, then stats on level would be a really good choice. Another reason stats is a good choice is because so many majors in college, and you should start looking at that now, what you want to major in college. So many majors in college require statistics. So this would be a good on-level way to get some background knowledge before going on and taking a 3 college credit statistics class in college. So stats, excellent choice. Dual credit math, there will be one dual credit math class offered next school year on Hebron's campus. There are 4 math classes that are offered through Collin College, but the only one that we're offering on campus next year is elementary statistical methods. And again, that's the reason why we're picking that one, is because so many majors require elementary stats. as their math class for college. Yes, there are other ones that are available. If you're interested in taking a different dual credit math class, there are online versions, there are summer versions of the class. You can take them and they can be dual credit, but the only one we're offering on campus is the elementary stats. The thing to remember when you're taking these dual credit math classes is this is a 3-credit course. It is paired with a supplementary class here on campus. So if your dual credit stats class meets Monday, Wednesday, the Tuesday, Thursday class is a Hebron teacher who helps out and supports that class. If this is your 5th math and you don't want that, you have to take it. So they're paired up together to give a full math credit. Science options. A science credit is needed in both 11th and 12th grades. So you need 1 credit in 11th grade and 1 credit in 12th grade. Science classes can be taken either on level, honors, or AP. For graduating under the multidisciplinary endorsement, the classes students will take are biology, IPC chemistry or physics, 3rd science, 4th science. So if a student takes IPC, then they have to do chemistry or physics. So ideally, a student will do biology, chemistry, science class, science class. The only reason why a student would have to take both chemistry and physics is if they are graduating on the STEM endorsement. If a student wants to get the STEM endorsement in addition to multidisciplinary, then they'll take physics. We do recommend to college-bound students that you take both chemistry and physics, and that's because colleges really like to see that. Chemistry is a strong science class, definitely, and physics is a strong science class, definitely. So they give a good, stable background knowledge to any of the classes the colleges may be offering for science options when your student goes to college. So as a junior/senior, honors and AP sciences are available. AP chemistry, AP biology, and AP physics C are year-long classes. You take the class all year, and the curriculum is very rigorous. AP Physics 1, AP Physics 2, and AP Environmental Science are 18-week classes. So your student could take AP Physics 1 in the fall, and that would be it. Or AP Physics 1 in the spring, and that would be it. Or they could do AP Physics 1 in the fall and AP Physics 2 in the spring. Or they could just take AP Environmental Science alone, and that would be a standalone 1-credit, 18-week AP science class as either junior or senior. Physics C is calculus-based. Physics 1 and 2 are algebra-based. So in order to do Physics C, your student needs to either have already taken Calc AB or be concurrently enrolled in Calc AB. So Physics C all year and then Calc AB scheduled in the fall term. Again, all other sciences are 18-week on-level classes. That would be regular environmental systems, aquatic science, earth space science, food science, astronomy. Those are the on-level 18-week courses. Electives. Tech East and Tech West classes. These used to be known as Dale Jackson and Career Center East back in the day, but now they're Tech East and Tech West. These classes are double blocked for 2 periods, and your student will either take first and second period, or they'll take classes third and fourth period. Those classes are not here at Hebron. They're either at Tech East, which is over behind Killian, or Tech West, which is over on the other side of the Music City Mall over by LHS Harmon. They have some really great elective courses that are offered at both career centers, and they have options of certifications at the completion of the courses. What I would recommend is if your student is interested in taking a career center class, then I would reach out to the Career Center counselors. And, I can tell you that the classes are great. They can tell you how amazing the classes are and what you need to do and what are taught in each of the different classes. So if you're interested in pursuing some Career Center classes on if that's an option, feel free to reach out to Natalie Wilson at Tech West or Karen Yansky at Tech East. Those are the counselors, and they would love to answer any additional questions about the Career Center classes for you. Now, NCTC has dual credit that is available for the firefighter program and for the cybersecurity program. The firefighter program is taught at LHS. The cybersecurity program is taught at Tech West. Both programs are year-long programs for both 11th and 12th grade years, and certification can be earned through both programs at the end of 12th grade. These dual credit programs are offered through NCTC, and the Career Center counselors, the Tech East and Tech West counselors and programs would help with the application and testing process for NCTC. More information can be found in our counseling office or on the website. I do know that the district has been sending out information about the firefighter program. I'm a parent here in the district also, and I haven't seen anything about the cybersecurity program, but I have seen it about the firefighter program. I'm sure it'll be coming out soon. But the career centers both have information about those. Tech West monitors the firefighter program, even though it's at LHS. All right, PSAT and SAT classes. So we get a lot of parents who ask us the difference between the two, the PSAT class and the SAT class. The PSAT class is based on an invitation based on the score from the PSAT from sophomore year. Students who have already received their invitation from the teachers. So if you feel like your student potentially should have received that and hasn't, then let us know and we can check the list and find out what's going on with that. The PSAT test on October of your 11th grade year, junior year, is the one that determines the national merit status. That junior year PSAT in October is really beneficial for scholarships in college. Sophomore year, you didn't have to pay, your student didn't have to pay to take the test, but if your student wants to take it junior year, there is a registration and payment for that, and there will be all kinds of tweets and Facebook posts and emails and all kinds of blasts, and your kids will be annoyed, and you'll be notified before the registration starts, before the June administration. The PSAT class, if your student is invited to that, it's the first 9 weeks of the fall, and there is a summer participation in the program that is required. So if your student is selected for this and decides that they want to do it, then the actual class is the first 9 weeks, and then they'll do another 9-week elective next to it. And again, received an invitation. This is for students who are going to be juniors next year. The SAT class is open to any 11th or 12th grade student, and the recommendation is that students have completed Algebra 2 or they're concurrently enrolled in it. The goal of the SAT class is to get students ready for the SAT. The SAT, of course, being the college entrance exam. Now, this year, a lot of colleges and universities made admissions, SAT and ACT optional, and that was because of all the COVID closings and the test cancellations and all that last year. We don't know what's going to happen for when you guys are applying, when your students are applying to college. So it's a good idea to start preparing for that and to take it. And also a lot of colleges who have it so that they're test optional. Many of the scholarships and programs still require students to have taken the test and have a score provided in order to do that. But every school is different, and I would keep an eagle eye on the school that your student is considering going to and applying to. If your student is going to be a senior next year, it's time to start keeping an eye on those potential universities that your student's looking to attend, to see if the SAT prep is something they need to be prepared for, which is a good idea anyway. So the SAT and ACT, we recommend that students take the SAT or ACT your junior year as close to finishing the math class as possible. So if pre-cal falls in the fall, then we ask students to plan on taking it in December or January. If it falls in the spring, then take it in May or June. So we offered a test here this year with all the COVID stuff that was going on and all the virtual and remote and all of that. I don't know if that's going to continue next year. Our testing coordinator will let us know, and we'll let you guys know if and when that is decided. In the meantime, you can plan on registering for the SAT at collegeboard.org and at the ACT at actstudent.org. Our test was during the school day in the fall. Again, don't know what's going to happen next year, but in a regular tests are given on Saturdays during the school year, and we are not a testing site in a normal year. We do have fee waivers that are available for students who are on free and reduced lunch. That are available starting your junior year. So current junior families, if your student's on free and reduced lunch, we have a waiver so they won't need to pay for that. See your counselor. Sophomores who are rising juniors, that'll be next year when they're thinking about taking the test. Time to start thinking about college visits. 11th and 12th grade students can participate in college visits for up to 2 school days each academic year. College visits are excused with the proper documentation. And if you have any questions about documentation requirements, you can contact the attendance office. I can tell you that most colleges, when you sign up for that tour and you show up at the admissions office and you go on the tour and you come back, they give you a folder and it's got an excuse note right there in it. So the admissions offices have this down. You would just have your student turn that into the attendance office. Now, the student and counselor conferences. In years past, we have met individually with every single student that's in our alpha. But that's in a regular year where everybody's in person. It's going to be way more difficult this year to be able to get every student in our office in a confined space during a pandemic. So conferences are going to look a little bit different this year. All students will have an opportunity to update and change their course requests during course verification, which is tentatively scheduled during May 3rd through 7th. So if your student is concerned about putting in classes on the 21st and, oh my gosh, I'm going to be stuck with this forever. No, they are going to have opportunities to make those changes. Students who have requests that are incomplete, they're going to meet with either a 9th grade counselor, a main campus counselor, or a tech counselor, depending on where they are attending classes between the 21st and March 29th. Once we get all of the requests in the system and we've met with the students that we have to meet with, and we have everybody with 8 classes in, 8 credits in, and we're rolling, then all students will have an opportunity to sign up for a brief individual meeting with their counselor between 3:29 and 4:09. So if your student doesn't meet with a counselor during all of this course where we're getting everything organized and everything's great and it's amazing, then they will still have an opportunity to sit on either through WebEx or face-to-face with the counselor after we make sure that we have all of the requests in the system. As they're thinking about classes and level of classes and what classes to take and what programs to participate in, it's important to remember our change policies. Schedules are set on the year. Course requests and teacher selections and master schedule is made based on the course request process from this entire spring school year. So once school begins, the schedules, assume that they're set. If there's an error in the schedule, so there's a class that's on there that your student already passed, or if there's a program change and they decided they don't want to do theater anymore, or they wanted to add ROTC or whatever, we're going to fix those. We want to make sure that they aren't in something that they already have credit in, or that they're in a program so that they're participating in all of that. We're going to make those. We can't change teacher requests. So they get a math teacher that they've heard that their brother had one that was a different one, that they worked so much better. We can't make teacher changes. We can make changes out of honors and AP classes at the 9 weeks if an academic need is shown. So if a student's rocking a 95 in AP US history, you're going to stick out the AP US history. You can do this. And we can't make elective changes, which is why it's really important to make sure that those 4 alternates are classes that your student would truly be interested in taking. As a wrap up, all students need to enter their classes in Skyward by February 21. Specific questions will be addressed once we review those course requests in Skyward. So don't have your student email us right now and set up a meeting, because we can't do that yet. That's going to be after the initial requests are put in. Please see the website and the student parent email blasts, and monitor our Twitter at Hawks Counselor for updated information. I know you're getting blasted with emails right now. Everybody's getting hundreds of emails about, remember this, don't forget that. Just remember that when something comes up, we are sending out the information so that you are aware. This presentation will be online. The advanced academic and CTE presentation from yesterday is already online. The presentation from tomorrow for your students to learn how to register for classes in Skyward, as well as all of the registration materials, will be on the Hebron Counseling website. I will tomorrow send an email that has the link, or maybe not me, somebody is going to send an email with a link as just a reminder that here is all of the registration materials tomorrow after advisory, so that everybody has all of that information. Yes, everything that's updated will be posted on our website for print or review under scheduling information. And that will be posted tomorrow after advisory. This presentation will also be posted, like I said, posted online. WebEx says it takes 24 hours, so this time tomorrow it'll be posted for review. I will put the presentation, so the slides that we went through today, online over if you don't want to hear my lovely voice again. So we really appreciate your time in watching our video and joining us today. And we really appreciate you taking the time to put your questions in the chat. Thank you to the counselors for putting that information in there. If you have any specific questions about your students, please contact your counselor directly, and we will be able to answer those questions. I believe that Miss Renee or Miss Hood, one of them, is going to post a link to all of our contacts on there. If you have dual credit questions, please contact Miss Fields. She is our Collin College person, our connection that's over there. So if you have specific questions about how things transfer and what this looks like in summer classes and things, then she is an excellent resource. And if you have questions about the career centers, please contact the career center counselors as well. So we just really appreciate your time in joining this, and thank you for helping your students to register for classes tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to stop the meeting, and thank you again, everybody, for coming.